So I worked on the animations for First World Bank, so a very early version. Sort of the tricky thing here was, of course, that we don't have a big mocap room, so everything is sort of just me doing all the characters, and then splice them together. Since the mocap room is so tiny, I couldn't do like the full walk for anyone, so it's like I had only like 4 meters. Besides that, it was also the civilians in the backgrounds. So once we added like Wolf did much more here. In the beginning he didn't have as long like shout down on the civilians, so it was the civilians as well. So everything is me, and everything is sort of then combined together to sync with each other. And then of course I had to clean it up and make sure that it worked for the weapons that they will have eventually, since here I just used like the standard weapons and everyone has like the Chains body and the Dallas mask, and they're very rough and no cleanup. So I also made a lot more of civilians than you see here. I think this was sort of the most we ever done in mocap, since I think I usually do like 8 different characters. Here we had like 20, and probably not all of them were used in the final trailer, but we did a lot more of the civilians that perhaps wasn't used. Since we had 2 mocap sessions, it was better to have more than needed than the opposite. So we can see how we're sort of cheating things here as well, which is sort of, we only wanted to animate what was seen on camera, so to speak, which usually means that then if you change to another perspective, you will see like they're not doing anything, or they're just popping up from nowhere. Here I just used one as a proxy, and then you can see them just popping up, because this is of course just animated for the camera, so that's why we have these sort of just teleporting and popping in. And then as you see in the camera, you might not notice them just popping in. Here we added 2 of the civilians and more here, so this is sort of closer to the final version. And I think we also later on, when we didn't have a mocap session, we just reused this one first, and that was like I didn't like that, so then I had to just splice together that Chains did his melee instead, just to not have the Hoxton doing the same melee twice.